Any player that we're not scoring enough as a team.
They're winning games.
We're the least highest scoring side of the top 7 sides.
But that doesn't mean scoring enough is relative to how much you're conceding. So you're scoring enough.
We need to score more.
For what reason?
Manchester United standards.
I feel like you can deal up. Think with Manchester United standards in the summer and actually spend 18 million and get to see me. Like all these random sub guys. Like that's how us we brought in. What's his name? Ato. Where is he now? Like stop signing. I don't like flimsy signing.
I feel like it's not the same. Igalo's signing was a very, very good signing. He did very well for us. He was one of the.
He did alright. How many goals did he score?
He did very well for us.
How many goals did he score?
But he did very well.
Before goals?
Considering what he was brought in.
Igalo barely did. He played like 7 matches and scored like.
He scored the Europa League.
I mean, very well is relative.
Igalo.
Leave it at that.
Okay, we're well and truly into club football now. You know, besides all of the international football drama, World Cup, it is, behind us, long gone. And
long gone. Distant memories that will hold on forever.
Distant memories that we will definitely hold on to. But yeah, let's talk about everything that's happening in the world of sports generally. Now that, World Cup is over. The FA Cup proved, very interesting over the past weekend.
The FA Cup was the FA Cup, magical.
It was big actually. Commentators were talking about how, these kinds of cup games, it's different from what you experience in the league.
Exactly.
Even when two, sides.
It's knockout football, it's different gravy.
It's different, it's crazy. But yeah, let us start off with Friday. I mean, the last time we saw you guys, Manchester United and Everton had not played on Friday. So Manchester United versus Everton on Friday, Man U did the business at Old Trafford, defeating Everton 3-1. It was a very big game for Marcus Rashford. He had a hand in all 3 goals that Manchester United scored. And, he's just proving himself. Yeah,
Rashford is on great form. Ten Hag's management, that's one player that you can see it in immediately. He's improved leaps and bounds. He's getting goals. He's looking confident. And
Yeah, so 3-1, that one ended, Frank Lampard, he was appointed. He set up his team quite well, but I mean, Manchester United's attack just had too much.
Frank's got to go, man. And speaking about Everton, shout out Alex Iwobi, who got injured and was very distraught about that. But it turns out it's not that long an injury.
3 weeks.
I guess he thought it was longer when it happened. It looked bad. Yeah, but 3 weeks isn't that bad, so hopefully he's back.
It looked very painful, but yeah, that one hurts me actually as a Nigeria, Super Eagles fan, and looking out for our Nigerian brothers out there. Terry Malasha went. It was a
little reckless.
Yeah, it was a little reckless. But he got the ball.
Yeah, but it was as in care for your professionals now. Your fellow professionals.
Moving on to Saturday, Tottenham played Portsmouth. They were able to win that one 1-0. And Liverpool also played Wolves. And that one ended 2-2. But the biggest talking point for me was the Liverpool versus Wolves game, where a goal was chalked off.
There were 2 talking points. So there was a goal that was given for Liverpool that was dubious, and a goal that Wolves scored that was also dubious.
Exactly. So the goal that was given for Liverpool that was dubious was.
I guess it wasn't dubious. It's just.
It wasn't dubious. Actually.
I guess the rule is just a rule that
it hits
is
the
bad. It's a bad rule. It's a bad rule, but it's a rule.
Salah got the ball and he scored.
Because I think it was Totti. If he doesn't think Salah is behind, he doesn't try and head the ball backwards. He just leaves it for his goalkeeper. But look at that touch from Mo Salah. Like there's a pillow on his leg. See how the ball just sat down. See how he punished them. As the ball just sat, you knew what it was. Automatic.
That's Salah for crying out loud.
Speaking about that game, Darwin Núñez, another goal. That's up to 10 goals this season. Happy for the boy. Hopefully we can hit the 20-goal mark. That pass from Trent Alexander-Arnold was... Did you see the pass?
Yeah, I saw it, but I feel like
that was delightful.
Liverpool fans are grappling at straws.
You don't have to be a hater. Let's talk about the goal and the pass now.
Let's talk about...
Was the pass not a good pass? Did you see the pass?
Let's talk about what should be spoken
about. Okay, but did you see the pass?
I saw the pass.
And wasn't it a good pass?
But
okay, so shout out Trent now.
That's the Liverpool fans grappling at straws. Just taking whichever win they can find.
It was a good goal. I'm a football fan appreciating a good goal. And the Man U fan of us appreciate good goals.
Talking about
am I not appreciating your player, Marcus Rashford? Are you guys just sitting in? What position are you, sir?
Talking about a good goal. Totti did score a very good goal in the dying minutes.
I won't say it was a good goal.
Totti scored a very good goal.
That's grasping at straws. That's grasping at straws calling it a good goal. But Totti scored a goal that it looked pretty clean. It was clean.
And it was dubious because the VAR refused to play the goal for the fans in the stadium to see.
No, the reason was apparently the cameras didn't have the angle that could have seen it to make it sure to them, so they went with the on-field decision. But that's not the first time this has happened this season. I believe it happened in the City-Arsenal game. There was one involved with Rodri that If the camera just doesn't get it, they just have to go with the referee.
So why did they have to go with the referee in such a decision where...
Because the camera couldn't get it. So they have to trust their referee now. They hired him for a reason now. That's what they said. So who should they go with? If VAR does not give them the conclusive angle they need, and a referee that they are paying said that he's offside, they're just going to have to listen to him now.
Anyways,
I don't agree with it, but it is what it is.
I'm going to chalk that down to conspiracy theory, and
it is what it is.
Conspiracy theory. Liverpool were highly favored.
But we shouldn't be upset. Wawak, they'll meet us in 10 days and deck us clean. I'm all in you.
Don't
worry, they have another fixture. They'll be alright.
That is not likely.
Why not?
Because Wolves themselves do have another cup game before that cup game.
Are you watching the football Liverpool is playing?
There's probability of fatigue affecting them.
Did you see the side that Wolves played in this thing? They play players that we've never seen before. And they almost won the game. They'll play some new ones, don't worry. The guys that benched in that match, they'll bring them in this time.
But one good thing for Liverpool was Cody Gakpo. He did have his debut, and I mean, he did not, go guns blazing.
So yeah, he looked
had a solid game.
So he showed the things I wanted to see from his game. He's technical. He handles the ball very well. He linked up with Robertson well on the left-hand side. I feel like the final ball could have been a bit better. Maybe that ball to Salah could have gone directly, and there were a few passes that were off, but he looks like a well-rounded player. And there was one shot he got off in the first half that I liked how he shifted his body and then used his left foot. So the things that Darwin Núñez lacks, I feel like Gakpo has, and we kind of saw a bit of that. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Yeah, definitely. It's one we have to see how that one pans out. I don't expect Gakpo to just come into the side and just go. But let's see how he gels with the squad. Talking about sides in the Premier League, still Manchester City and Chelsea played yesterday. That one ended 4-0. It was 4-0 drubbing for Chelsea.
Chelsea sucked, man. That's just all it is. As in, sorry, Graham Potter. Maybe we should get Dio here to come and explain it, but that fairy tale story, they suck. And what's this guy's name? Todd Bowley does not know what he's doing. His transfer philosophy is clearly who does everybody else want. He's chasing out this guy Arsenal wants. Now he's chasing us for Caicedo. And he's been doing this in the summer. Everybody Barcelona wants. So it just looks like a rich man that doesn't have a clue. And he probably shouldn't have sacked Thomas Tuchel. The fans were chanting out for Thomas Tuchel in the stadium. Yeah, Chelsea suck. And Liverpool are so bad right now. And I can't believe Chelsea have found a way to be even worse than that. With all the money that they spend that us we wish we spent. It's quite crazy.
Yeah, it's sad. I feel like Todd Bowley's mistake was letting go of everybody in the back room. He did too much of a rejig that it would take too long a time for everything to come together.
That, and then with the way they're signing, how long is it going to take for Graham Potter to actually build a team that's his own team? They don't sign so many centre backs, any attacker that anybody else wants. Do we even know if Potter wants these guys? Does he even scout these players?
I feel like Bowley's understanding of English Premier League and football generally was not necessarily up to the standard that he needed to be at. So he's just coming with some sort of weird understanding of how sports should be, or whatever it was that he was.
And it's a warning sign to everyone that wants to sell their clubs. You can get someone that has money and can afford the club, but it doesn't have sense.
But does he have good management?
He'll scatter your club for you.
Yeah, so there you have it. Manchester City, this guy was on fire.
Mahrez
was on fire.
This is the third time he's played Chelsea this season. He scored all three times. He always misses penalty. He scored against them.
One mad free kick and one penalty. So yeah, Man City 4-0 against Chelsea. And yeah, Chelsea fans, what do you think?
None of you needs to come out here and defend yourselves.
What do they even think? What do you think the solution should be for Chelsea? Can be for Chelsea? Will Chelsea make top four? The way it looks,
definitely not.
Top four. What do you think needs to happen for things to start to go well for Chelsea? Let us know in the comment section wherever you're watching this. But moving on from Chelsea, there's still Arsenal left to play today, the top side in the English Premier League against one of the lower sides in English football. Oxford United at home against Arsenal. That happens at 9 p.m. today.
Yes,
Jerry was saying before the game, before we came on, that Arsenal are likely to drop points in that one. I beg to differ. But that's left for us to see.
Yeah, Arsenal fans, they're just on this fake humble thing at the moment, saying they're not going to win the league. They don't want any pressure, but you guys are good. Accept it. This is the pressure that comes. You're good and you have to win every single game. These are the stakes. Every match you drop points is a problem. Every match you think City have dropped points, they will still pick up the points. This is the ride. Get used to it now. As you're here, this is what comes with it. Embrace it.
Yeah, definitely. And let's see how that one pans out at 9 p.m. Arsenal, of course, would expect them to take Oxford United to the cleaners at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I'm going to call that a 3-1 Arsenal. I only say 3-1 because maybe Arsenal play depleted side and they won't have this. So maybe Oxford might be able to get one. But
and that's another thing that's interesting about Arsenal. How much of a depleted side would you see for Arsenal?
Yeah, we'll probably see Nketiah. We'll see that Fabio Vieira guy. I think Smith Rowe might be back. El Neni, and then they'll put some of the main players who are fitting. And to be alright.
Yeah. So let's know what you think in the comment section. Oxford United versus Arsenal at 9 p.m. today. Let us know your score lines. Let us know who's likely to score for Arsenal and your predicted starting lineup for Arsenal as well. We'd like to see that. There might be a prize at the end of the day for whoever gets that correctly. Moving on from English football to La Liga, where we had quite an interesting weekend. Atletico Madrid lost to Barca yesterday. Interestingly, both sides.
Barca back up.
And of course, that was big for Barcelona because on Saturday, Real Madrid dropped points to Villarreal, losing 2-1, and that helped Barcelona. And now Barcelona are
4 points? 4 points clear? 3 points clear top of La Liga.
3 points, 41 points to 38.
So yeah, shout out Xavi. He's doing a great job. Looking like he might be a proper manager. Lewandowski is on fire. 13 goals, top goal scorer. 13 goals in 15 games. Dembele got the goal yesterday, and he's been quite pivotal for them this season, chipping in with goals and assists. I feel like Dembele was scapegoated at the World Cup, and I don't like it was fair. I feel like he had a decent tournament, and he's a good player. Yeah, he's just not Kylian Mbappe, and that's okay. True. I feel like Messi haters that wanted Mbappe to win and Mbappe fans just had to pin it on him on his final performance. This is our skin because Mbappe played out of his skin. So we have to think, who do we look at next? And it was Dembele, and I didn't like that.
I feel like there was a lot of racist towards the amount of scapegoating that Dembele had. He did have a very good game, and the penalty that he gave off or that he gave away was also a very dubious call in the first place.
Exactly.
Which was not necessarily 100% his fault. So unfortunately for him, he did have that kind of walk up. But he's coming to the La Liga now. He scored.
That's a big goal. Atletico Madrid 1-0 versus Atletico Madrid. That's as big as it gets. Atletico don't concede 1-0 to extend the gap at top of La Liga. Yep. If Barca win the title, they'll remember games like these. These are the games the title is won.
Definitely. And of course, for Atletico Madrid, that put them at number 5 on the La Liga table. It's not looking good for Simeone at the moment. But moving on from that, let's talk about our Niger boys and how well they're faring across Europe. We had Paul Onuachu playing for Genk. He's had I think 14 goals in 15 games. The boy is just firing on all cylinders. We had Alex Iwobi playing very well leading up to the injury that he had on Friday. Iheanacho scored the only goal for Leicester City.
Very happy for him. Good finish. Good finish, composed.
And coming off the back of having played, poorly recently.
Yeah, he hasn't been on form the last few months for sure. And to see him finally score, hopefully he can get back scoring.
Yeah, definitely. And Osimhen, of course, that's the biggest of them.
The baddest boy around. Probably one of, I think, on the market right now, that's probably the best striker on the market. He's the first striker to hit 10 goals in Serie A this season. Yep. And like you saw his stats, he's the first African to score 10+ goals in 3 Serie A seasons since George Weah. So that's a pretty good start. And he's carrying Napoli at top of the table, and he's looking like the best player. You can make a case that he's the best player in Serie A at the moment. This is a 100M plus. Actually, he's deciding games week after week. He's playing in the Champions League. He terrorized us in the Champions League. He's even if he's not the best striker, he's the top hitman, the top decider.
That's true. Osimhen is right up there.
100M striker. If Darwin Núñez is going for 100M, what these guys are flying about?
I think Osimhen should go for
drop your 100M if you want those goals.
Yeah, definitely. And then also Chukwueze did very, very well for Villarreal in that game against Madrid on Saturday. Chukwueze, I mean, of course, we all know what Chukwueze is and what he brings to the table. Yeah,
good player. It was on a bit of a goal drought, but I think now he scored in back-to-back games. Yep. So yeah, that's actually big for his confidence. Yeah, and hopefully all this is good for the Super Eagles. When next do they play?
The Super Eagles, forget about when next Super Eagles play. Besides whatever our boys are doing, we have a massive problem with management.
And that needs to be addressed first.
Posero is just not the man,
clearly,
in my opinion.
Clearly.
Yes, it is still January, and we have, of course, transfer news to talk about. But very quickly, just to wrap things up, Manchester United trying to get somebody to fill in Ronaldo's boots temporarily.
Wow,
we're hearing good moves for Joao Felix, but the figures are quite alarming.
That's the one you want to hear and like.
That's the
but
first one I want to talk about. That's the first one I want to talk about. There's a few to talk about still. Joao Felix, 12 million.
I don't think he fits it. That's not what you need, though.
Does not necessarily.
He's not a striker.
He's not an out-and-out striker.
He's going to play on one of the wings.
False nine,
you don't need that.
He's not an out-and-out striker.
Bruno can do that.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why there's some sort of skepticism. But we're also hearing Memphis Depay. Barcelona need to get some names off their wage bill. So Memphis Depay is a good option.
I feel like you're still looking at left forward / strikers, and that was why you didn't get Gakpo.
That's
you need a striker.
Depay has actually sort of transformed his
Yeah, I see that.
The way he plays for Netherlands. He can play as that point man.
Yeah, I feel like so you're still like it's still kind of shown the way Rashford can play as the point man, Martial kind of like you're still not getting a focal point who just does this, and I feel like that's where like an Osimhen or just a 9, a goal scorer that just wants to convert chances.
If you're being very honest,
still wants to link up and be key.
If you're being very honest, you know that conversation cannot happen in this January window. What we're looking for right now is a stopgap, and that's why we're looking at somebody like Wout Weghorst, who did very well in the World Cup, and you know he's an out-and-out 9. He's playing very well in Germany.
Nothing bad, and I saw some underlying stats show that he presses when he was in the Premier League. He presses really well.
He's a very, very good presser.
Yeah.
And Ten Hag does want him, so that does what
I feel like he's a bit sluggish for me. He just looks a bit sluggish sometimes.
Can you
so like he applies himself.
That Ajax boy that played Hala.
Sepp Hala,
who had a bad time in the Premier League, went to Eredivisie.
Yeah, balled out
with Ten Hag. So Ten Hag might be able to use Weghorst. I mean, perhaps it's left for us to see. Any other things?
You're linked to Abubakar now.
Yeah, Vincent Abubakar as well. Okay.
I also heard of the United linked to Abubakar. It's giving Igalo. What do you feel about that? In fact, it's exactly like Igalo from the Saudi League and African striker experience
with the age and whatnot. But yeah,
the part of me likes Abubakar more than Weghorst. I don't know, maybe it's because of what I've seen, the big tournaments I've seen him performing.
So the thing is, with Abubakar, there's that feeling of wanting an African to come up.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. But ultimately, I don't feel like you need a stopgap that bad. I think you guys are doing fine, and you can make top 4 without. So there's no point just adding someone to the squad.
The problem is the over-reliance on Rashford.
But Martial is there doing a job. Sancho will come back into the fold. Anthony will come back into the fold. Bruno scores. I don't think you need a stopgap right now. Just wait till the summer and don't spend the money.
We definitely need a stopgap because Sancho, that you said, only God knows when
he'll be back soon. Don't bring in someone that can now mess up the dressing room.
Anthony's not scoring the amount of goals that we need. And
but you're scoring enough as a team.
Any player that we need, we're not scoring enough as a team.
You're winning games.
We're the least highest scoring side of the top 7 sides.
But that doesn't mean scoring enough is relative to how much you're conceding. So you're scoring enough.
We need to score more.
For what reason? I feel like you can deal. I think with Manchester United standards in the summer and actually spend 18 million and get Osimhen. Like all these random stop-gaps. Like that's how us we brought in what's his name? Arthur. Where is he now? Stop signing. I don't like flimsy signing.
I feel like it's not the same. Igalo's signing was a very, very good signing. He did very well for us. He was one of the
He did alright. How many goals did he score?
He did very well for us.
How many goals did he score?
But he did very well.
Before goals?
Considering what he was brought in.
Igalo barely did. He played 7 matches and scored like.
He scored in the Europa League.
I mean, very well is relative.
Igalo,
believe it at that.
But yes, Manchester United fans out there, let us know who you think Manchester United should sign before the end of the January transfer window. I think we still have about 20 days to go before the window closes. And yes, that's the
other club fans, let us know who you want to sign for your club, who you feel you need in your club.
Other clubs, I mean, well,
Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, City. I doubt we do anything with that. You probably it's not for that long. They say it might just be a month, but yeah, you probably should do something. We only have 2 senior centre. No, we have 3 Joe Gomez, so you'll be fine.
Okay, let us know. Chelsea especially. Chelsea seems like a club.
We need a whole episode to table Chelsea, bro.
Definitely, something that we'll come back to. But of course, that is an episode. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Safe.